Welcome to the Fly You Fools podcast, the podcast that talks a little about J.R.R. Tolkien and his work and a lot about everything else. Enjoy this time with your fellow fools, Tibs K, Jacob and Cooper. Thank you for listening.
So I spent the last 10 or 15 minutes trying to make a meme, and it's incredibly hard.
Yeah, it's so hard to make a good meme, dude.
I got
you
nothing.
Guys. No, okay. So you have your meme. You ready?
Dude, Cooper,
I
we
don't
gotta
have shit,
do
dude.
something about your connection. Do you not have an Ethernet cable in your house?
Let me try switching the Wi-Fi's.
That might be a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, it keeps cutting
Let
out
me
for
disconnect.
Cooper.
I'll be back. 1 second.
John, have you spent a lot of time making memes?
I mean, none more than I normally do, but I do 7 a week.
Okay, I switched, so maybe that'll be better.
This does sound better so far.
I don't know. I heard it cut out right away.
Really?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
for
it's
me.
honestly, it's probably just other people in the house also using the connection.
Tone to
just-
fucking
Yeah.
get off, man.
Well,
And it's that fucking computer.
the computer's good. Computer's good.
Yeah, it's-
solid state.
We just do
doesn't-
fights.
Yeah.
It's true.
How's everyone's week so far?
Good.
Good, dude. I'm ready to talk about some Lord of the Rings. It sounds like you guys didn't read, though.
I
Fuck
skimmed.
you, I read.
These chapters are pointless, man.
They're so not. There's so much good stuff to talk about in these chapters.
Yeah, dude.
Chapters are
Definitely
pointless, man.
No. No. I mean, it sets the stage.
Yeah, I love these chapters.
These
They're
these
good.
are some of my favorite chapters, I think, in the entire fucking book.
All right, Jonathan. Well, take us through them.
Yeah, so for the listeners, we did 11, 12, and 13, which is a knife in the dark, a flight to the ford, and then there's many meetings.
Yeah.
Being the 13th. And in those chapters, they leave Bree because they're being chased by the ring wraiths.
Yeah.
And those guys are kind of bitchy in the books, man.
Yeah, they kind of suck. They kind of give up almost.
Yeah, they're not
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah, there's so many of them. How could they not just outnumber and
Well,
just
and they're
shit and
supposed
wreck
to be
the hobbit?
magical, they
Yeah,
each have a
yeah.
ring of power.
Well, it
Yeah.
said in the book, it said they stabbed Frodo, and then they basically just left and let him be because they knew eventually he would die.
Well,
Yeah,
but
that's
also
true.
Frodo's
Why
stabbed
didn't they
more
just
than
kill
them.
him and take the ring?
Yeah. Yeah, he's right there. It's just Aragorn with a little bit of fire. You can't take him out. All of you are there at once.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're wraiths,
I
yeah.
mean, and they just run out of a town of hobbits, when they first go to the Brandybuck town or whatever with Fatty
Yeah.
Bulger. They literally show up, ask for the ring. He says, "I don't have it," and then they get spooked by hobbits. Come on. You could fuck all those guys. There's no swords in that town.
Yeah, and you're invincible wraiths.
Yeah.
You don't even have a body. You can't really be killed.
Well, that's the weird thing is that in the books they have bodies.
I
They
guess
talk about
so.
it briefly. In the Ford chapter when they get fucked up on the flood. At
Oh,
one
yeah.
point they take off their dark cloaks and they're wearing white, which I think is so weird. I made a note of it because I was like, this shit is not
They're
how I
wearing
remember
white?
them. Yeah, they're wearing white underneath the hoods.
I don't remember that.
Well, you didn't read recently. You basically read many months ago at this point.
No, maybe a month.
But I mean,
Couple weeks.
that's a long time. And I mean, because I made a note of it because I was listening and I was like, what the fuck?
They're just wearing white clothing,
Yeah, they're wearing they have helmets on and they wear white tunics.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's kind of what Frodo sees when he takes the ring off.
Yeah.
Or when he puts the ring on Weathertop. When he can see under their hoods or whatever.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
I
that's
see their
why
bodies.
Peter Jackson kind of in the books took that to mean their tunics were. I don't know. I
Yeah,
genuinely
they're
don't
kind of
know.
like it's kind of like their other form or some shit.
Yeah, I have no fucking clue. I mean, and it's
It's
all
magic, dude.
yeah, it's all magic or whatever. Um, fucking. So it starts with Fatty Bulger scaring off the ring wraiths. Um, I like how they do a whole thing about the ponies for some reason. Like at the start of this chapter, when they're leaving Bree, like all the ponies run away,
Yeah.
and then like there's like maybe for a page or two an entire blurb that's like, but don't worry, Fatty or
Yeah.
Butterbur got his ponies back, and like some of them hung out with Pom Bombadil for a little bit, and
Yeah, the ponies have real personalities and like stories and
yeah,
lives.
and he's like they even made a profit on them considering they're like worth more when they come back and all this shit, and I'm like, what the like why why do they even need to include it? Because like they end that little blurb by saying, but he doesn't know that right now, so he's upset. Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it's
okay,
all right. Yeah, like
yeah,
not sure like you hadn't really mentioned the ponies that much before, but I
I
guess
don't know.
but
It's
then
yeah,
it's like
exactly.
Sam makes friends with that one pony as well.
Yep, because
One
they
they
like a
get
shit
from
pony.
yeah.
And yeah, and I think that's I don't know, that's a fun thing.
Yeah, they kind of
Let's see. There's also this I love is they talk about Bill Fernie more and how he has an associate that was a foreigner from the South that they called the squint-eyed man. And I'm like, this is racist towards Asians for sure.
Yeah. Asian.
Like absolutely. Like that's just what they called squint eye mans back in the
yeah.
day.
Yeah,
And what's
back when
even
he was writing
worse
this.
is when they were leaving the fucking Bree, they like Sam goes like he looks like half a goblin. It's like I was like, oh god.
Yeah.
Just like not very PC Lord of the Rings. Shame, shame, shame. So they leave Bree, they go to Marsh's. Um And there, what is cool that I think they bring up, because the entire time they're like, there are many spies on the road. And I'm like, you guys are alone in a marsh. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And then Aragorn's like, but the Nazgul can, like, use animals to spy on us. And they see, like, super great in the dark. So that's why there's spies around. And I was like, okay, that actually makes more sense.
Yeah.
Um, and then Aragorn tells them a bunch of stories, and this is probably one of the most important stories that briefly gets glossed over in the Lord of the Rings, which is the Beren and Luthien story, which
Okay.
is its own book. They
Uh-huh.
go over it in the Silmarillion, and they go over it in the Fellowship of the Ring because it's the story that is based around Tolkien meeting his wife and falling in love with her, and then her dad being like, yo dude, you gotta get your shit together if you want to marry my daughter, because I think he was Catholic and she was Protestant or something like that.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
And so this continued love story is basically, he likes the idea of this story so much that not only does he put Beren and Luthien in the Silmarillion and give them their own long ass book, but it's basically the exact same thing as fucking Aragorn and Aragorn.
Yeah. It's just like he just like kind of repeats the same little
The
pattern and
same,
trope.
yeah, trope. That's like, and like, it's the exact. Elrond's like, you're not good enough for my daughter. And even in the Silmarillion and Beren and Luthien, how it ends is that Beren goes down, he gets killed by a wolf, and dies in Luthien's arms. But she chooses mortality of mortals.
Yeah.
Like it's
Every time. Like
literally
even
the
in
exact same
even
thing.
in like The Hobbit or that shitty Hobbit movie. I don't think it was in the book even.
Yep.
But
In the
like
movie, they do the same fuck. It's just that classic,
yeah,
and
like the
it's
elf and like the mortal.
yeah, and not to mention that's basically exactly Romeo and Juliet.
Some ways, yeah.
Like that trope.
Yeah.
Like dad's like, no, you can't marry the daughter. They like go through all this shit, and then when they're finally about to get married, the boy dies, and then the girl is like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, and just
And so that's a super important story that is actually a decent story to go and read. Um, the weird thing about that story is technically Elrond is a descendant of Beren and Luthien, and Aragorn are descendants of Beren and Lithien, which means when Aragorn and Arwen get together, technically Aragorn's Doinkin his cousin.
Well, and
Middle Earth, it doesn't
and
work.
Well,
Tolkien-
it's thousands of years away and all that.
it's
shit.
just that seems pretty okay to me for some reason.
Everyone's doing it.
You look at the family tree though, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, as long as they're not like direct brother
and sister. Yeah,
Yeah.
a few
Yeah,
cousins
it's probably
away. All right.
okay.
None of this Targaryen.
There's only so many like super like crazy special like hero characters.
And
a lot of them are related.
to Elrond. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they roam around, and basically there's a lot of travel time. Even like, so they get to Weathertop. Frodo gets stabbed. Also stabs himself. One of the ring wraiths, like the leader or whatever, the Witch King, I think it actually is. But I gotta make sure that's the same for the book as it is in the movie. But and then like in the movies, they're like, oh shit, this guy's dying right now. In the book, it's like he's hanging out for like 20 days after getting stabbed, like talking, telling stories, having a good time. Sam sings a song.
Yeah.
And like it's so much slower. They go by the trolls that Bilbo froze and stuff like that, which is a fun callback to The Hobbit. And what else? And I like they say something. They're always worried about if they're in troll country. And I'm like, troll country sounds like a cool place to be.
Oh
I would
yeah,
love
for
to
sure.
vacation in troll country. It feels like Australia to me for some reason.
Troll country.
Just like bunch of like hard ass trolls just mucking about. There's like nothing around. It's just all barren wasteland. Because he's like, the trolls don't build anything. They just live in caves. And I'm like, all right, that sounds pretty dope.
I think you kind of want to be a troll, John.
I mean, I think there are worse things to be in the Lord of the Rings Legendarium.
Like what?
Nob the Hobbit.
Nob the Hobbit.
True.
But he's kind of fucked on. In general, I would rather be like a troll than a normal man.
Yeah, the troll's pretty sweet. I mean, you're pretty powerful, quite
yeah.
frankly.
Yeah,
you're just a giant. And you live a simple life, You're just kind of like slow. You
work the land.
You're just happy with what you have,
That's what I'm saying. Troll country sounds fun. You're like,
It ain't much, but it's honest work.
Yeah, it's honest work. Like as long as like Sauron's not there to like possess you and like make you part of his army, you're just a wild troll. Kind of like a bear, quite frankly.
Yeah, really, trolls are just bears.
Yeah, they're just kind of like
with legs.
Bear gorillas,
But even Sauron's trolls are the strongest parts of their ground armies. Like those battle trolls are
That's true.
Oh yeah, but they kind of are the number one target too.
Yeah, they get
that is true.
That's so sad, man. Just taking trolls from the mountain like that
and I wouldn't want to be the trolls in the Hobbit that they like chop all the limbs off of and just put like maces and shit. Those guys didn't look like they were having a great time.
No,
not at all.
It's like gladiators that fueled their fire for sure. Not having any hands
or eyes, right? They blinded them too.
They blinded them.
Damn! Oh my god!
The hooks in their eyes, and they were like, "That's how they brought." Like, I don't know.
And to think those trolls are somebody's kids.
Yeah.
Some poor troll mother.
Some poor troll mother. Son had his eyes poked out and is used as a war machine, but he loves it.
Like Bill and Tom and Bert still. So
yeah, they have names like they clearly talk and like.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like they're smart. Like, and I mean, the little fun thing is a bummer, but
they're like they're closer to men than they are like animals. They're kind of like.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely. Yeah. Okay, so they go out and then like. There's a lot of traveling. Again, I can't stress how different that is from the movies. In the movies, it's like a 30-minute ride from Weathertop to Rivendell. In the books, it's like 3 weeks of travel. And then when Frodo's finally about to kick the bucket, Glorfindel shows up. And Glorfindel is super cool. One of my favorite characters.
What an ugly name.
Yeah.
Glorfindel. Yeah.
But he's so cool, man. He kills a Balrog.
Whoa.
What? He kills a Balrog?
Whoa.
So yeah, his backstory is like he was one of the few kind of like OG elves that they talk about in the Silmarillion. And during like there's this conflict between the elves where one group of elves wants ships and the Teleri elves are like, we're not going to give you our ships. So there's a lot of infighting and they kill each other, and it's like the first time, like it's basically like kind of the original sin moment of the Lord of the Rings cosmology. And Glorfindale's like, I'm not about to kill a bunch of my fellow elves, so he just stays out of it, right? And then he goes off with Elrond and hangs out with him a whole bunch, and they protect this city from Melkor, back when when it's Melkor and not Sauron.
Right.
And fucking at a certain point, he's like basically sacrifices himself because a Balrog shows up and starts trying to fucking kill everybody. And there's all these people running away, and he's like, at this point, he's just basically a normal elf too. Like he's a noble elf, but he's like a normal elf, and he just fucking fends off the Balrog, stabs him, pushes him down a cliff, and guess what happens?
He dies. He gets he gets fucking pulled down with the Balrog.
He absolutely 100% does.
God.
150%.
Every time. And guess what? Tolkien wrote about all of it.
Oh, and guess what? Even better. He comes back to life.
Yeah.
Oh.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
Stronger than before.
It's
And you want to know what's
literally
even
the
better
same
than
thing.
that?
Yeah.
The person that brings his body up from the abyss is the Lord of the Eagles.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
It's
The Lord of
like
the Eagles flies down there and gets him.
yeah, and because he gets like drags like in
Because
like
he
a
can
cliff.
fly, and that's
Yeah.
like pretty good. Pretty
Yeah, that's
useful.
useful skill. And get this, when they bury his body, I love this little bit. Orange, or not orange, but yellow flowers grow on his grave, which is exactly like when Theoden finds all the yellow flowers on the graves of the Rohan people.
Wait, the yellow flowers grow on whose grave?
Glorfindale's. Before he's brought back to life.
Oh, before he's brought back to life. Oh, okay.
And it's like a big rare thing. And they're like, oh. And so that's like, to me, I think the whole Baron and Lithien thing, and including Glorfindale, is just Tolkien's kind of way of saying, boy, I really wanted to publish the Silmarillion, but no one wanted to publish it. So let me include basically the same shit I already wrote in the Fellowship of the Rings.
So was the Silmarillion written before the Fellowship?
Yes, but it was not published before.
Oh.
He tried to publish it, and the publisher was like, bro, no one's going to read this shit. We need hobbits. Like, your last book was called The Hobbit. If the sequel to The Hobbit doesn't have a fucking hobbit in it, no one's going to read it.
Right.
Tolkien doesn't even fucking care, though. I feel like he's just in his own world.
Well, I mean, because I think a big thing is like, once you got kind of the dump truck of money backed up to you, like what? I mean, do you really give a fuck? Like George R.R. Martin, you think he's giving a flying fuck? Like he's a good billionaire.
Yeah, just
not a billionaire, but like he's so much money. He probably owns a chunk of a small piece, at least, of all of that merchandise that's going to be sold forever, and everything that has the Game of Thrones on it. There's like 3 spinoffs coming out of HBO.
Yeah, although Game of Thrones did kind of die hard after it ended.
Well, it died hard because
because the
last season
bad.
Sucked.
But the thing is that he got his check. He cashed.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely made out great.
Yeah, I mean, because he's like, oh, I know how it's gonna end, and if I ever get around to finishing the books, you might too. But let me just let them do whatever the fuck they want, and I'll take my $500 million and
take my time with it.
Yeah, and never have to worry about my kids working for the rest of their lives or their grandchildren, and no matter how it ends, I'm going down as the creator of probably the biggest show ever and one of the most popular book series in the world.
Yeah, that's got to feel good.
Yeah,
especially at him, because he's like been a writer his whole life, it seems like.
Yeah, and he never really got that big, and then all of a sudden he hit it off, And all I mean, and he knows he's a good writer. So why do you give a fuck? It's kind of like George Lucas in Star Wars. It's like he did Star Wars great. He made it what it was, and he got. I think it actually was 500 million that Disney paid for it. So he
Wow,
got
yeah.
that. You got that huge chunk of change, and it might be shit now, but like he's like, all right. It's no longer my thing.
Yeah, it's still just a huge.
Like I didn't direct
books are
those
way
pieces
more
of
popular
shit.
now too, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So he's not crying, and I think Tolkien got a little bit of that, where when his publisher's like, all right, Hobbit sold great. I'm not going to publish your book of fucking poems about Tom Bombadil or the Baron and Lithien story because no one wants to read a story about like these two elves. We need hobbits. And so that's why he changed it. He went back and edited the Hobbit for the second draft and second publication for Smeagol to be more Hobbit-esque and for the ring to be a more central thing. That's also why he opens the Lord of the Rings by saying, hey, Gollum's a Hobbit. Like he is 100% is, because remember we talked about that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh,
He
hey,
just gives it away.
Yeah. And so I think he's kind of like, fuck it. And he gets to include his little love stories, like he still tells the Berian and Lithien story just with Aragorn, and Aragorn is a pretty dope character.
Aragorn is, yeah. He brings it.
Yeah. And so I think I love that. Another thing I also love is the fact that everyone talks to their horses in Elvish. And if I ever get a horse, I'm definitely going to talk to it in Elvish. Going to give it an Elvish name.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude, for sure.
That is the
and you're gonna like grow. He's gonna like grow his
thing
hair
I've
really
ever
long
heard
and like
in my
wear a leather vest and like ride his horse. John.
Personally, I think that with basically all animals from here on out, I'm going Elvish.
John, oh my god, John, this could be your comedy act, dude.
Like
You're
Elvish
just like
dog.
you're just like a really weird like Lord of the Rings nerd who like wants to be an elf, and you have like a fetish for horses.
That would be pretty
like
fun.
My Little Pony stuff. You could just hit up that market, John.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude, that's a huge. There's a brony at my work, and he's like openly brony. And it's kind of weird.
Dude, what is brony?
You don't know what a brony is?
No.
A bro.
Oh
My
my
Little
god,
Pony fan, Cooper.
You're just a grown man, and you just
what?
really like My Little Pony.
You have some Googling to do, dude.
Yeah, Cooper.
You're about to really disgusting shit. Like, I mean, really disgusting.
All right. I'm on it right now.
Yeah, Google brony.
Yeah, just type. I mean, I can't believe you never. Wow, dude. They're like the lowest tier. Like, even the furries are like, oh, those guys, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking weird. But yeah, I love the Elvish stuff.
I wonder if it's good though. Is My Little Pony a good show? Like,
I mean, there's just kind of no.
What? This is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, Cooper, there's like documentaries about it.
But it looks like it's the same guy.
It's the same guy.
Yeah, it's just one guy. And I
think it's a lot of people. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's a really good show. You never know.
No.
Yeah,
dude.
is it like a thick, deep plot?
Not, I think I can't remember, but Dylan and I probably watched one episode, but we had to turn it off.
Yeah, I think I've actually watched some of it too, just because I was curious. It's a kid show.
Like, and there are kids shows that I'm more lenient towards, like that are kind of fun and shit, like
the Avatar,
or like Avatar, and that have
Star Wars, Clone Wars too.
Danny Phantom. Yeah, Clone Wars is a great example, but then it's like, oh, bro, like I can't even. Like, it's so just. I mean, girly, and then at the same time, like it's not even like a good story.
No,
they're just like, oh, you're such a Fluttershy, and it's like, oh, good God, fucking kill me and stab me in the eyes. Because this is just.
It just kind of like the.
So those guys definitely like jerk off to My Little Ponies.
I mean, Google clipping, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what they call it. It's not fapping; it's clip clopping. Because
clip clopping.
Oh no!
They have a word for it.
They have a word for it. I mean, it's actually so bad.
Clip clopping.
And you make your own little My Little Pony avatar. I mean, go on Reddit, and there's just.
It's just not about the show. It's just like totally.
It's just about the porn, and the problem is that if you look at like, there's some little girl that's going to a My Little Pony convention who's jazzed to the tits about My Little Pony and gets there and it's like 40-year-old dudes. Just furries that even the furries are like, how about no?
Yeah, just let's not get in this. This is like, it's just kind of weird.
Yeah, at least our animals are half human, you know? Like that's what
yeah.
Like.
Yeah, and at least it's like kind of real, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just so bad. Other things that happen, they bring up Tom Bombadil a lot. I forgot how much they kind of talk about Tom Bombadil.
He's important. He's an important character.
In a weird, but he just isn't though.
Right.
Yeah.
Like for how much they talk about him, like
I love how much they talk about him. He's just
I mean, it's so weird. No, yeah, he's great. One of the best memes that I have seen on the Lord of the Rings thing was like, my expectations, like her says her, and then it's like my expectations aren't that high, and then it says her expectations, and it's a picture of Tom Bombadil. It's like, yeah,
that's a good one.
True. But no, I wish one thing that I'm reading through, I kind of wish there was more of, like you guys know what a Horcrux is, right? In the Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah.
I wish there was more of kind of like Frodo being little evil. Like kind of like being like that. Like, I hang out with the ring, so I'm gonna like push Knob around, you know? Like, kind of, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I see what you mean, yeah.
There's like, when he gets poisoned, they're like, oh, he's gonna be turning into a wraith. And I think it would be cool if like,
for a little bit.
I mean, I don't even know if he just kind of like, in the way Bilbo grew a spine during the second half of The Hobbit, I think it'd be really awesome to see, Frodo just kind of like have those, like, what if he was mean to Bilbo when he met Bilbo in the Many Meetings chapter?
Yeah.
He was like, no, you're not actually getting my ring. Like, this is fucking mine.
Yeah.
Interesting shit like that. Because I mean, it's the most powerful thing in the world. You would expect it.
He's walking around with it.
Yeah, for him to kind of be like, yeah, he can go invisible.
He does later on though, right?
I mean, sort of, but that's at almost the very last
moment. When he's snapping at Sam and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird. Let me see.
Interested to read that part of the book too.
I can't wait for that shit, dude. God, the glory. Oh, one thing I fucking love is it's probably my favorite part about these chapters is when they get to Rivendell and they're meeting all the people. Gandalf's back, and they sit down and they're talking about how cool everybody is. When Frodo meets Gloin, might be my favorite kind of exchange so far, at least. I mean, maybe in the entire books, but in the like so far what we've read, that's my favorite scene when Gloin like instantly knows who he is and he goes, Gloin at your service, just like Gloin does in The Hobbit when he meets Bilbo for the first time. And Frodo's like, oh shit, like I know who you are. He gives the recount. He's like, yeah, Dane, like it's like the epilogue to The Hobbit. They're like, Dane's still king of the mountain. Bombor's so fat that he can't get out of his chair, and he has 7 young dwarves to lift him and bring him around. I fucking love that.
Good old Bomber.
It's like, so obese. Like,
I mean, so obese.
He on that like TLC show, My 500-Pound Life, you know?
Yeah.
Oh,
he's so fat. People have to carry him around.
Yeah, I mean, it's so, and I'm like, that's so much fun. And they talk about Dale, and Dale sounds so cool now.
Yeah.
And then, and I think what I really like about this is that it makes when they go to Moria and they find Balin's tomb, it makes that more impactful. Because, like, he's like, to be honest, like, I don't know where Balin and the 2 other guys went.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was kind of cool. But that comes up later.
Yeah, but he's like, the reason I'm here is because like shit's fucked. Like I'm looking for my friends. Like, and that because like especially when you're first watching Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit came out, and it came out before The Hobbit, you're like, why is Gimli so sad? Like, what is? I mean, it's just a bunch of dead dwarves. Like, okay, and you read and like you don't realize like Balin is that fucking skeleton that they pulled the book from. And I'm like that, like it makes it more impactful, at least for me, because I was like, oh, like now I'm really excited to read that point of the book where they're just like, like I mean, because I mean I like that, and just the little Hobbit throwbacks I really enjoy. That's basically the end of the chapter. At one thing I do like about the many meetings chapter is that they say the title of the book. They say the Lord of the Ring, and they also say the Desolation of Smaug.
Oh
and I was
yeah.
like, oh, look at that. And then there's this one scene, dude, where after like Frodo's hanging out with Bilbo and they like sing a song or some shit,
Uh-huh.
and like Sam comes and gets Frodo, and it's like the gayest scene so far. Like,
Oh, is this
far
when it
and
happened?
away.
Cooper once told me about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a deleted scene, right?
The
No,
deleted scene.
it's just like a little thing where it's like Bilbo's like, I know why you're here. No need to be bashful. And Sam's like, oh yeah, is Frodo here? I think it's time for us to go to bed. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
bro.
Come on.
Sam just comes up in there like he's like his little toddler brother.
But funnily enough, dude, so I mean that's the end of the chapters. We're doing the next 3.
Do it.
That will probably take us into Moria, I think.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff. Yeah.
I mean,
The
honestly,
fellowship is formed.
Yeah. There's the Council of Elrond, Lord of the Rings chapters in chronological order. Oh, so let me see the titles.
Yeah, that's when they get going.
A Knife in the Dark, many meetings. The Council of Elrond is when it's formed. The Ring goes south, and then Journey in the Dark.
Yeah.
So those are going to be the next 3, and that's going to be fun. I'm excited. I'm excited to read Boromir for the first time.
The best.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm just looking forward to especially since it's weird because Boromir doesn't die in this book.
Right. He's
and
there.
And then the next thing, we actually have a weird conundrum after the chapter of the breaking of the Fellowship, and this is something that when we're doing the 2 towers, when we inevitably get to it, and we'll talk about memes in a second and the competition and all that, but they go out of order, the chapters. So like they focus POV wise on like I'm trying to think of the right word. So it will go for like Aragorn for like 3 chapters instead of bouncing back between what Aragorn's doing right now, what Frodo's doing right now, what Merry and Pippin are doing right now.
Oh, once they split up?
Yeah, once they split up. And so there's a chronological order that we could do, or we can just do it how it's written.
That's how it's written.
Okay. That settles that. And then, okay, so going back to the next meme thing, as we talked about last week, we're going to do a meme challenge to see who gets to pick the next book that we read. And I got to tell you, my memes have not been hitting on Reddit like they did. I thought I came up with a great one today that I posted, and it didn't get a lot of traction. And then on Monday, I posted this one that was like that Korean Bong Joon-ho, the guy who won the Oscars for Parasite. At one point, he made his 2 Oscars kiss. And I put Frodo on one and then Sam on the other, and J.R.R. Tolkien. And it only got like 20 upvotes and several comments being like, nope, you missed it with this one, bro. And just like shit, like, no, not funny. And I'm like, oof. Damn. I never had a meme like fail to the point where people were like
people are commenting. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still 20 upvotes. So some people thought it was funny.
No, I mean, and that's and 20 upvotes, imagine like 40 people see it.
So okay. So I already got my meme that I'm gonna use. I'll wait till Jacob does it so we can have an official competition. But I gotta show you guys a few memes right now.
All right, let's see what you
more
got.
Inside joke. They're more inside jokes, but I think you guys will like them. So here's
put them in the album.
Yeah, let me do it right now. So should I copy? Yeah, I'll just copy.
God, I've been having the shittiest week. I just made the worst macaroni salad I've ever had. It's like all vinegar, no mayonnaise.
Was it just like macaroni and
I mean, there's
vinegar and mayonnaise?
some chicken in there, some carrots, some onions.
Oh, nice.
I'm literally gonna, when we finish casting, I'm gonna go up there and strain it, and then add
get some
more
of that
milk
shit
and
out.
mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Okay, can you guys see that one?
Yeah, that one's funny, but it's not. You can't post that. No one
I
can
know.
get that.
It's just for us.
juicy.
I have a better one. I have a better one just for us though too.
All right, I like that.
Great, Cooper.
Wait, this one, Jacob, you're gonna like this next one a lot.
I don't think I'm gonna like this one at all.
Yeah, you're not.
I think I see where this is going.
This one's better.
Mhm. I'm okay with that.
That's funny.
Yeah. Okay.
Post that one on Instagram.
I thought that one was good.
I like that though. I love that. I thought it was gonna be Bomber, dude.
Oh, I couldn't.
Yeah.
There should be on a bomber.
I was like,
that's a good
"For
idea."
Sure, it's gonna be Bomber.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, quite frankly.
For everyone that can't see these, you can see them on the Instagram, but it's a picture of Cooper's name under Aragorn, Jacob's name under Legolas, and then I am under Gimli, which I'm okay with. I mean, Gimli's cool. He's fun.
For the fools in literally any athletic competition. Yeah, John, how was your athletic competition this week?
Dude, I'm okay. Like high key, dude. This week has been a real shit tier week for me. So, and it's only Tuesday, which I'm thrilled about. Like, I had to pay for my car. I just spent shitload of money because it was Valentine's Day and then my girlfriend's birthday, and I was able to get the new kettlebell and the jump rope to do my workout routine. I had a meeting at my company until 7:30 last night. So I missed being able to go to stand up. Got home.
What was this meeting about?
Yeah,
it was like a company-wide meeting. And it was kind of bullshit because there were,
How long was it? Till 7:30?
I mean, it was 2 hours.
Why did it start at 5:30?
Because he didn't
Why
want
didn't
to
it start during the day?
He didn't want to interrupt normal business hours, and he said we could either get to work earlier or
You can tell him to fuck off.
well, the thing is that new members had to go, but if you weren't a new member, like,
What was it about?
it
It's
was
not
like,
the thing. You
Yeah,
you
it's
tell him,
so
yeah, the thing is, this is more than an 8-hour workday. Fuck off.
Yeah.
no, I don't think that's how that works. But
Here's the deal. Obviously, you wouldn't say that to your boss, but the thing is, you are completely correct.
Yeah, you don't. I feel like you could just be like, no.
Yeah, and they can't like they wouldn't be able to do shit. But I see why you wouldn't.
you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
like,
you have to go.
And I mean, and some people, if you had like to pick up your kids or whatever, and it was on a holiday too, which is so weird. But so that like wasn't able to go to stand up, and then I just got home and I fucking did not work out because there was another problem with my car's windshield wipers that I finally had to get done because it was so bad. They've been broken since Vermont, and driving in that snowstorm fucked my windshield wipers. I could barely drive them over. It was so bad. So I finally did my workout today, which I'm excited about. Cooper, you might have heard of it. It's like the simple and sinister kettlebell workout thing.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
I mean, so I jump rope for 15 minutes before that. Do that, which takes around 30 minutes. Which, by the way, I cannot basically do a Turkish getup. I think I ripped something in my leg.
Dude, yeah, you can.
No, I know, but it's like I was hearing things pop and pull, and it was wonderful. But yeah, so like I'm kind of back on my bullshit, but like not.
You know,
really
Turkish get-ups are the best, one of the best exercises you can do.
Yeah, I mean that's why I'm doing them, man.
Good.
I mean,
So you do those, and then like just like other like workout, like a kind of like a circuit workout with the kettlebell.
Yeah, I mean it's basically just swings and Turkish get-ups, and then I jump rope for 15 minutes beforehand as like kind of a cardio thing, and then I kind of do like yoga / stretches that they tell you to do before or after like the simple and sinister thing. So there'll be like hip bridges with like a kettlebell on it.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, those are good.
And it's just, I mean, it's weird. I mean, it's good, and like I worked up a sweat, not as much as being on a Stairmaster for an hour, but at the same time, like my goal is that if I stick with this for a month, I'll buy a better and heavier kettlebell.
What weight are you using right now?
35 pounds.
35 pounds.
And they tell you that you should be using like 32 kilograms or some shit like that.
Yeah, 32 kilogram is 60 something pounds. So
yeah, and I was like, I'm not jumping right, because like a big thing is, especially with all this shit, they're like, form is important. And I'm like, if form's actually important, I'm gonna fucking start fight.
Okay, well, it is.
No, I know.
Sure you're hinging at the hips, keeping that chest up.
I'm just imagining John doing
great
fucking
at those,
kettlebell swings.
Yeah, John, maybe video yourself and send it to me or to us, and
no, dude,
I can
laugh at it. I mean,
tell you. I won't actually make fun of you. I won't actually make fun of you.
I believe that, Cooper, but Jacob certainly.
I'm thinking about it right now in my head, and I imagine he looks so funny.
Just send it to us, and we'll put it on the Instagram page and let them judge.
And just let them judge. It'd be so cruel.
Sean, dude, you want to be an internet personality? This is how you have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
embarrass yourself.
Give me a little bit more time, and I would actually do that.
But you gotta have at least a video now so we can see the progress that you've made.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually not a bad idea. Okay, you know what?
Yeah.
The one thing I have been doing well this week, sir, is my intermittent fasting and diet. Even right now, the mac salad that I'm eating is chickpea based and low carb.
Dude, that's so gay.
Yeah, man. That's all my life is chickpeas. I actually eat so many of them now.
Yeah, I actually had some tonight.
They're not bad.
Yeah.
But then the podcast guys, or at least on Podbean, are up to date. And then tonight, I'm going to make and edit the YouTube videos, because what I realize is like they won't like store the YouTube videos. You're only able to upload one YouTube video every 7 days from Podbean. So I have to go in and add, I think, like 4 of them to catch up, so that this Sunday, the YouTube video, this episode, and everything else will drop at the same time, which is ultimately my goal.
What YouTube video are you talking about?
All the Podbean stuff cross posts to YouTube.
Oh, so it's just the cast on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, I mean, the thing is that that's at least how I exclusively listen to podcasts.
That's right, because you don't have an iPhone.
No, it's actually because I have YouTube Pro, so I don't have to listen to any ads.
But if you had Apple Podcast, you just
what, Cooper?
You just play it and it goes.
But there's ads everywhere.
No, there's not.
I mean, there are. I've never heard a Joe Rogan ad, not once.
I know, nor are there on any of the Apple podcasts.
You're lying, Cooper.
No, I'm not.
I mean, he gives ads in the show.
Dude, I listen to podcasts constantly.
No, dude, but he doesn't. Joe Rogan doesn't do live reads in his podcasts.
Like the podcast app, he does like a read at the beginning and then.
Yeah, I skip through that.
And I'm saying on YouTube, not a thing.
Well, it's pretty easy to fast forward 6 minutes.
6 minutes? Do I have all day to stand there and seek on my phone? No,
all you have to do is hear the theme song in one of it, and then he's about to start.
Well,
it's so easy to skip.
It's so easy, yeah.
Okay,
well, just not. But the thing is, what I find interesting about it is that I actually have listened to a lot of the ads, just like kind of on accident, or just because you kind of like hearing just Joe Rogan talk.
Well, and then also here's another.
But like it actually doesn't work. Like I end up hearing a lot of them.
Right.
The most important thing about all of this is that when Jamie is asked to pull something up, I can see it.
Oh, and yeah, but you have to look at your phone.
No, I mean you can't view it on on the Apple Store when it's just the MP3.
Yeah, no, you can't.
You can't.
But
and
usually
same thing with your mom's house, which always plays videos. The podcasts I gravitate towards are basically TV shows. I mean, if we're being real, those are the ones that I watch. that are like, I mean, they're
Well,
basically
it's just
talking
them talking for 95% of the time.
Well, no, I mean, they'll show videos and shit. Like on your mom's.
I think
they
I'm
show
just
videos
whenever
all-
I'm listening to them, I just can't watch the video.
Yeah, I don't really have much desire to watch.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I only look down when I hear Jamie pull that up, and I can lock my phone, and it just plays normally.
I guess that would be kind of nice on Joe Rogan's, just particularly because he does reference a lot of things.
And like UFC fights and shit, they put them up. Like it's nice. I don't know. Either way, I don't have to explain myself to you. It's better to have.
Sounds like you do. Sounds like you need
It's
to, though.
better. It's better to have it on as many platforms as possible. For instance,
Sure.
our YouTube videos get way more views than our listen on Podbean.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
And so that's my thing is like, might as well keep it updated there. What else?
So I'm going to Miami on Thursday.
Oh yeah, for your athletic competition.
That's actually super cool.
Yeah, it is gonna be cool. So I guess I have to get my hair cut tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
It's finally happening.
Oh,
It's gonna be
dude.
full force.
Be true mullet.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna cut the sides. It won't be a full mullet yet. It's just not long
It's
enough.
gonna be, yeah. Wait,
I'm
are you
excited about
coaching too, Cooper?
Am I coaching?
Are you like competing and coaching, or just competing?
So I'm not really competing. I'm doing like a 1 hour like mini competition, but it's not really the real competition. I'm just doing that for fun. I'm mostly just watching a lot of friends, and also just like watching a lot of the top people go.
Yeah,
And also just a weekend in Miami.
Yeah,
Exactly. It's just fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be sweet, dude.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fucking great time.
It is. If you're into CrossFit, it's the best time ever. If you're not into CrossFit, you'd be like, what the hell is all of this?
It's like a CrossFit convention / competition.
Basically a CrossFit festival for 3 days.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun, dude.
Yeah, it will be.
No, that'll be a fantastic time.
Yeah, and just going with a bunch of your coworkers too, I'm sure.
Yeah, just my friends, really.
Yeah. That's great, dude.
But yep. All right, well, let's end it there. We got a lot. We are talking so much actually about the Lord of the Rings now.
Yeah, I actually really like the Lord of the Rings, though. I kind of enjoy talking about it.
No,
well, yeah,
I mean, it's great. That's
a great story. Yeah,
that is the point of this podcast. I'm interested though. Before we leave, tell me, at least update us on which books you two are planning on picking if you win.
The Two Towers.
Are both you guys just gonna pick the Two Towers? So we're not.
I gotta think about it. I understand the benefit of just continuing with Lord of the Rings, but I just can't see myself like really diving into it. I'll probably read whenever I feel like it, kind of like this one right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's all right.
You
might just.
Well, I thought the whole point of doing this was because, you guys didn't want to read just the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I don't want to either, but I feel like now I do. But I'd be down to read something else.
Yeah. Either way, just think about it.
All right, I want to think about it.
Okay. I'll put it in, and then I'll go strain out this macaroni salad.